I'm Colleen Holder and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're in Plymouth at Tropical Pleasure Resort. This 16-bedroom resort is a favorite of many because it's located in the historic village of Plymouth. One of the first things you'll notice is the landscaping, the tropical plant hedges and of course the majestic bamboo patch just at the entrance. We'll show you why this place is consistently chosen by visitors and locals right after we tell you what's happening in our stories this week. Another first for the island as Tobago's youngest deputy presiding officer is sworn in. Upgraded vending facilities for Argyle and Roxborough, no more street side selling for their fishermen. And Calder Hall has a new shopping centre. It's expected to boost economic activity in the area.
It's picture perfect with over 100 reasons to come. The intensely nurturing sensation of being so close to nature, the laid-back rhythm of the island, and of course the outstanding Tobago Jazz Experience 2014 brings to its main stage Keisha Cole, Grammy Award winners, Earth, Wind and Fire, Brandy, and the man himself, John Legend. Everything on one incredibly perfect island. The Tobago Jazz Experience 2014, April 19th to 27th. Much more than music.
My name is Roger Sampson. The business that I'm into is plumbing. Someone told me about it. I applied, I got through. Jobs was coming on the market for me. I needed additional tools to make the job more effective. It's not only about finance, it's about helping you to manage a company. I just want to say thanks to the business development program, all the persons that put this program in place. This is one of a million.
Redefining business, protecting Tobago's heritage.
This is Let's Talk Tobago. Welcome back. We're at Tropical Pleasure Resort in Plymouth. Now, once you've entered the yard, it's hard to miss the two silk cotton trees. These trees, also known as kapok, can grow as tall as 230 feet with their trunks spanning up to 90 feet in diameter. But as you can see, these here still have some growing to do. Then there's the pomerac tree, which when in bloom attracts as many as 5 species of hummingbird. It's a nature lover's dream. And speaking of dreams, history was created once again in the Tobago House of Assembly when the House swore in its youngest deputy presiding officer. Ansel Dennis is not only the Assistant Secretary in the Division of Community Development and Culture, he'll be expected to preside over all sittings of the Assembly in the absence of the presiding officer. His newest appointment is the final change in the reshuffling of portfolios at the THA. Mr. Dennis's colleague, Dion Isaac, previously served in this post, but he had to relinquish it after he was sworn in as the Secretary of Settlements and Labour. Why is this? Well, as Omar Mills tells us, it's because the THA Act No. 40 of 1996 states that the Deputy Presiding Officer can't hold a portfolio.
I now declare Assemblyman Ansel Dennis duly elected Deputy Presiding Officer of the House.
The sole candidate presented during the 15th plenary sitting of the Tobago House of Assembly. After the declaration by the presiding officer, Kelvin Charles, Mr. Dennis, who also holds the position of Assistant Secretary in the Division of Community Development and Culture, took the oath.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to Trinidad and Tobago and will uphold the Constitution and the law, that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my knowledge, judgment and ability, discharge the functions of my office.
This swearing in of a new deputy presiding officer brings an end to the changes which have been made to this THA administration since the beginning of the year. Huey Cadet is now the Secretary for Education, Youth Affairs and Sport, while Gary Melville has been appointed the Secretary of Infrastructure and Public Utilities. Dion Isaac took his oath as Secretary of Settlements and Labour, but he held the post of Deputy Presiding Officer before his appointment to the division. The changes were triggered because of Hilton Sandy's health. The former Infrastructure and Public Utilities Secretary suffered a stroke last year and has not been able to carry out his duties since then. I'm Omar Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Seafood is synonymous with the Tobago diet. In fact, one of the island's favorites is the famous curry crab. But by the time that seafood hits the pot and eventually our plates, the average consumer gives little thought to the conditions under which it's being sold. Well, on this island, this attitude is understandable and for good reasons. Over the years, there's been a concerted effort to upgrade vending facilities across Tobago with particular emphasis on hygiene and the environment. Let's join Davia Chambers for more details.
Those previous practices carried out in an unsanitary manner are no more for the communities of Argyle and Roxborough. When fishermen from the areas return from sea, they will enter the ultra-modern facility with effective equipment to improve the quality of fish sold.
I sincerely hope the facility will be used effectively. No longer would our fishermen sell fish on an old table at the side of the road, exposed to dust and the exhaust from vehicles as they pass by. Thank you, THA.
The facility won't only benefit the fishermen or fish lovers. She says it is a benefit to the entire community as it transforms the area.
How many of you here today can recall what this area was like in the 80s and prior? There was a shop owned by Mr. Bascom, a very huge man in stature. And over there was the old depot, which was used as a community center. At the center, ladies made straw hats and bags and other types of handicraft.
In addition, it helps with the marketing of fish to a wider population now that it's being sold in a sanitized location.
I want to say how much we appreciate the facility that is here being opened today. It has been here for a very long while. In fact, it has been used on various occasions for various purposes, main one being the facilitating of the regatta, which is held in September. I know it will continue to be so, but of course, that's a good way of marketing things. It has been doing well in marketing the regatta, so I hope it will do well in marketing fish.
And your community could be the next to receive an improvement to the current fishing facility, as the Division of Agriculture, Marine Affairs, Marketing and the Environment says it's an ongoing process to upgrade all facilities. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
But before our fisherfolk get to the marketplace, they must brave the open seas that are sometimes rough and dangerous. Best practices and knowledge are key to their survival. It's why workshops have been organized to share with them the latest communication technology and techniques that are available.
Castara, Lambo, Boku and Charlotteville are just a few of the fishing villages around the island. Besides the improvement in technology for catching fish, communication devices for fishermen has advanced. This time it's a smartphone application called M-Fisheries Mobile Suite, which operates like a GPS device when the fishermen are at sea.
This application is totally offline, so if you drift out or you go somewhere out of cell phone coverage, you're not left alone. This application, you can still use this application to place points anywhere you want, right? And tell you where you need to be heading, where you need to go.
And even as the fishermen are encouraged to get this application, they are reminded that they should inform family members of their whereabouts.
State where you are going. Tell a friend, leave a note, tell your wife, mom, aunt, uncle, somebody where you are going. So in the event Coast Guard or something happens, right, and you're reporting the incident, Coast Guard will ask, where was this person or where did he left to go?
Another reminder is that supplies such as first aid kits, VHF radio and extra food and water should always be on their fishing vessels.
It is necessary that we not only have the information, but practice it. A simple life jacket, simple things as water, all right? Because remember, you are dealing with an engine, all right, and a vessel that at any time the engine could shut down.
This event is the first in a series of workshops which will be held in various communities across the island. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking a break, but on the other side, business set to boom in Calder Hall. Details coming up. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Welcome back to Tropical Pleasure Resort in Plymouth. Looking at a venue such as this, one instantly thinks weddings, but a lot more can be done here. The conference room can facilitate dinners, training sessions, and even bridal and baby showers. There's also a seating area for private meetings or counseling sessions. And that's something to keep in mind as we move into our next story, which has the potential to spur economic growth in Tobago. Now, there's been a push to wean this island off of its dependence on tourism and to get the other sectors of the economy going. Part of that strategy includes providing incentives for community-based businesses, which will in turn create wealth. But this is no futuristic plan. It's already a reality.
When you are traveling along the Calder Hall road, you will see this long single building with booths providing goods and services such as meats, groceries, clothes, hardware supplies and accounting. It's just one of the many micro-enterprise centers on the island. It's an initiative of the THA which is aimed at fostering community-based enterprises. This will not only assist in economic growth, but it's hoped that it will reduce poverty, provide employment for those in the community, and increase the standard of living for all. In addition to the spaces which are rented to various entrepreneurs at $3 per square feet by the Tobago House of Assembly, there's parking for customers and those offloading goods. Currently, 9 of the units are in operation, many of which have been opened for business in time for the official unveiling ceremony. Other micro-malls have been established in communities such as Signal Hill. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Non-profit organizations are usually the groups most in touch with the issues affecting society. Their role in providing assistance, bringing cheer, or increasing community solidarity is an important and noble one. But somehow these groups are the least funded. In Tobago, though, there is some recognition of their efforts, which sometimes comes through financial assistance. Let's hear more about the latest check distribution to civil society and how one group plans to utilize their funds.
The THA often assists NGOs with their charity work. This is the president of the Mount St. George Village Council, Junior Kwashi, collecting a reimbursement check for their 4th annual Senior Citizens Function, a gesture which will help them continue providing an avenue for the elderly to come together and socialize.
They all appreciated it. And the people of Mount St. George, especially elderly, because we have people up to 94, 95, 96, and we lost 3 of them last year, which was kind of disappointing. But we are glad that we still have a lot around.
And the social event will be different this year.
This year's event is supposed to be a grand one in that we want to involve some of the youths of the village, because as the chief encourages us that we need to not only check for the elderly but to encourage the youths to come forward.
The 10 civil society groups which collected checks from the Chief Secretary ranged from $1,000 to $32,000. The checks aided in activities such as distribution of hampers for needy persons, a sexual awareness quiz, and several social community events. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
When you're healthy and strong, you don't usually think about sickness and how quickly the bills can add up when you're trying to be healthy again. Unfortunately, this is a reality for many, particularly those in need of dialysis. Put simply, they're dependent on an artificial process to eliminate waste and unwanted water from their blood due to kidney failure. This can be expensive and a drain on one's finances, but in Tobago, patients can get free dialysis treatment as often as 3 times a week. This has been happening since 2004. Today, Omadara Mills sat down with one of the beneficiaries of this program, and she tells us how it has changed her life.
Naomi Walters is a teacher at the Golden Lane Government Primary School. She was diagnosed with kidney failure in 2004. For close to 2 years, she had to travel twice a week to a private hospital in Trinidad to get treatment, and that cost her thousands of dollars. But with the establishment and growth of the dialysis unit right here in Tobago, that's a thing of the past.
The good thing about it is that I will just get up in the morning and I used to drive myself, come to treatment, and at the end go home.
Ms. Walters, along with 44 other hemodialysis patients, receive treatment 3 times per week at the Scarborough Health Center, with each session taking between 3 and 4.5 hours. She is grateful for the chance to have a more comfortable life.
The swelling that I used to have by my ankles, that has gone. When you come and you get the treatment, how many hours you do, you feel much better.
Hemodialysis is not the only treatment method offered by the unit in Tobago.
We have a total of 15 patients on the peritoneal dialysis side. The patients are trained here and then they do it at home for themselves.
There are 10 machines at the unit, but the Tobago House of Assembly and the Tobago Regional Health Authority will increase the number to meet the increasing number of patients.
Right now we have plans to have 2 more chairs added in the open area, 1 more in the isolated area, and 1 at the hospital.
Patients are also screened and put on a waiting list for kidney transplants, a collaboration between the Tobago unit and the National Transplant Center. Just a few weeks ago, a male patient had a successful kidney transplant, and it is this kind of outcome that makes the dialysis unit's work so rewarding. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time for another break, but coming up, a cure for your carnival tabanka.
What's up, it's John Legend. I'm very excited to be coming back to Tobago for the Tobago Jazz Experience on April 25th, 2014. I want to see you in the place, so make sure you get your tickets at www.tobagojazzexperience.com. I'll see you there on April 25th. Peace.
Thanks for staying with us. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. We're in Plymouth at the Tropical Pleasure Resort. No matter which of the 16 rooms you choose to occupy here, it's guaranteed to be a great experience. These rooms are fully equipped and self-contained with their own balcony. Also great for taking in the nature that surrounds this property. And it might be a good idea to have your camera on hand. Now, bullying in schools and how to help our students cope is a conversation many educators and parents are having as they seek to put an end to what has become a growing, cruel trend. We've seen the deadly consequences of this behavior, and it's no secret that bullying is occurring right here in schools across Tobago and Trinidad. But it's being tackled head-on and with some creative approaches. More from Davia Chambers.
These students here are hearing from local artists to stop all bullying through one of our cultural art forms, soca. Principal of Speyside High, Sherry Ann Wallocks Hackett, says the structure can be one of the solutions to tackle the issue.
What we tend to see is that many times the children who have been bullied are the ones who tend to want to self-destruct. Yes. Not the one who's doing the bullying. Right. So we have to be very careful, even within our school system, as we discipline children. When we recognize that one of these children is the victim of a bully, right, then we have to treat him or her differently.
She says her students are already knowledgeable on the issue and are trying zealously to curb the problem themselves.
We had a Young Leaders project here at Speyside last year where the students looked at bullying as their project. And as part of that, we had a walk within the area here in Speyside, and they had their Stop the Bully jerseys and so forth. It was well, the children participated fully. I think they were all excited over the whole thing, and it brought the issue of bullying squarely in their faces, and also strategies that they can utilize.
And the local soca artists, KK, Squaddy and the Natural One, all pleaded with the students to stop bullying each other.
So you must always remember that badness is out of style. Out of style! Alright? And always know, respect your teacher, and always have love for each and every one of your peers.
This campaign is supported by the division responsible for education, youth affairs and sport. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
Carnival is now behind us, but even as we begin the process of unwinding from a long season, let's take a final look at some of the signature events of Bago Carnival. In the windward part of the island, there's a competition now in its 45th year. It's the Windward Afro Queen Show and Calypso Monarch. Time now to find out who took home the coveted prizes.
I have to pinch myself when I hear Pastor. Yes. Oh, good Lord, then I start to play. Where shallows and seconds, so let them start around my chair. I couldn't believe the degrees of energy I feel.
That's the 2014 winner of the Windward Calypso competition, Rosalind Reed, with her contribution to the importance of the national instrument. And out of the 10 artists, the ladies dominated the other top 2 places, with second going to Nicole Thomas and third place to Giselle Fraser Washington. But Calypso is not all. Elaborate costumes, choreography, creativity and beauty are also on display in the Afro Queen Show segment, with this year's theme being a tribute to Nelson Mandela. 8 ladies ranging from ages 17 to 25 years old who live in the eastern end of the island vied for top places in this year's competition. Miss Speyside Janelle Campbell came first, while Miss Argyle Andrea Fraser took second. Third place went to Miss Pembroke Lisonda Reed. The event is organized by the Windward Festivals Committee under the Tobago House of Assembly. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
But there's more. Carnival wouldn't be complete without the parade of the bands and the crowning of a Calypso monarch in Tobago. This is a wrap-up of all those events and then some.
Carnival Tuesday looked like this in Scarborough. While the masqueraders enjoyed themselves, their bands were being judged. Topping the small band category was the Minstrels of Tobago. With their presentation of Butterfly Utopia, the medium category title went to Linley and Associates. And Scandalous's presentation of the King's Court took the Large Band of the Year title. In the Kings, Queens and Individual Costumes competition, the band Luan and Associates won the category of Female Individuals, while Happy Lost Sailors won in the male category with 250 points. Scandalous won the Queens section, and Gloria Stout's Next Generation had the best king costume. Clad in their colorful outfits, Shamika Dinoon's Sweets of Tobago cupped the prize for Kiddies Small Band of the Year with 652 points. Candice Chang Sandy's People Who Came with 755 points walked away with the medium band title, and Judith Rowley's Mary's Garden Comes Alive took it home for Kiddies Large Band of the Year. Turning to Calypso, Lornette Reed, or Fire Empress, has been crowned Tobago Calypso Monarch with her rendition of Just.
Just a bit of grammazone. Hey, why you fronting so? 'Twas just a dash of bitters with a splash of poison to go. This 4-letter word called just, is it really something small? Well, after you finish fronting, tell me if just really just at all.
The Tobago House of Assembly pumped $8 million into this year's Bago Carnival. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
And in case you missed it, here are some other results. This is how the Tobago bands fared in the National Panorama Finals. NLCB Buccaneers missed retaining their medium band title by a mere 3 points. Some described their David Rudder selection Madness as amazing, thanks in part to a presentation that opened with a short dramatic piece. But it wasn't enough to get the nod over the winners, Pan Elders. The two-time national champs, Petrotrin Cats and Jammers, placed fourth, playing Spankin' by Austin Super Blue Lions with an arrangement by Len Bugsy Champ. NGC Steel Explosion and Carib Dixieland both tied for 9th place. And in the single pan category, Hope Pan Groovers played Sparrows, both of them, and tied with Trinidad's Unistars for 5th position. And it's time to have your say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. The Tobago House of Assembly has set up a number of forums to get feedback from Tobagonians. The public can now voice their opinions using the Public Interest Desk or by attending the monthly community meetings. These have been useful to an assembly keen on receiving advice and suggestions from concerned citizens on what can be done to improve the standard of living for Tobagonians. But despite their best efforts, some voices still go unheard. So today we're asking, what is the one improvement you'd recommend to the THA for Tobago? This is what you said.
We need more jobs for the young people and more sporting activities.
What I would like to see happen is that the THA have to see about everybody.
Well, they have to put out more strength to what they're doing, plant food. Are we going to get a famine?
The type of improvements, well, consistent with modern structural design for a city.
The children in Tobago need a lot of empowerment. That is one aspect. So I think that the THA should tap into improvement on music.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Remember, you can send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt or visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Colleen Holder, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. And as we go, we leave you now with some final scenes from the Tropical Treasure Resort.